Welcome to the Be It Till You See It podcast, where we talk about taking messy action, knowing that perfect is boring. I'm Lesley Logan, Pilates instructor and fitness business coach. I've trained thousands of people around the world, and the number one thing I see stopping people from achieving anything is self-doubt. My friends, action brings clarity, and it's the antidote to fear. Each week, my guests will bring bold, executable, intrinsic, and targeted steps that you can use to put yourself first and be it till you see it. It's a practice, not a perfect. Let's get started. Welcome back to the Be It Till You See It podcast. This is not an interview. This is not a recap, but it's like a rewind.
Ooh,
It's like the MTV rewinds.
It's a rewind.
That's what it is. Oh my God. Only
love
took
that.
us 2 of these to figure. This is our third one. We finally figured it out. So this,
If you like rewind, make sure we know, because I think it's kind of cool.
I love a rewind.
Yeah, it's a rewind.
Oh my God. Okay, so we're rewinding, we're reliving some of our favorite episodes. Look, we couldn't possibly get all of our favorite episodes into any
I
recap.
know. This is episode 460. Are you kidding?
Yeah, and so we're picking 4 past episodes per episode you're listening to on a topic. And today is our favorite tips, which is clearly the most general category.
Yeah, this is our generic favorite tips, but they're super fun. They're great tips.
If you like Jeopardy, this is the potpourri episode, okay? So in this episode, we're going to cover manifesting, like a type of way of manifesting without being a double woo. We're actually going to talk about like what to do when you make a mistake or when things don't go your way. And then we're going to talk about how you can change your life in 2% of your day. Holy freaking moly. That one's going to blow your mind. If you do not remember that, then you haven't heard that episode. Because if you had heard this episode, you would already know what we're talking about.
Yeah, totally.
And also for my busy women, listen, that's all of you listening, and the few good men, you can send this to your busy woman in your life, like an inspiration on how one busy woman made the most out of her busy life to get to hit her goals that she has in her life. So here we go. Episode, what did you say? 460?
460. Woo. Stick around. Here we go.
So our first clip in this rewind is from the first episode ever.
The very first, number 1.
When I interviewed Joanna Vargas, because I like had a batch interview a bunch of people, I was like, oh, this is the first episode. Like I didn't know that when I picked her, but when we did the interview, I was like, this is being it till you see it. And so we're actually going to talk about this Remember When game, which is the most fun game. And I highly recommend playing it whenever you feel stuck.
Yeah. Also, I'm pretty sure she used your name like 50 times in that episode, which I thought was a helpful trick for how to remember people's names. So we reflect on that as well.
Yeah. Also, here's what I'll say. I just interviewed someone. The episode will come out soon. Her name is Kelsey Linsman, and listen to how many times she says my name. And she doesn't just say Lesley. She's like Les, like as if we're best friends. By the end of the episode, I was like, okay, Kels, when are we hanging out next? Like I was like, this is my new best friend. And I don't normally follow all of our guests because sometimes they approach us or whatever. But Joanna and this girl, Kels, I now follow and I check on all the time. So here you go. Here's episode 1.
Yeah, there's this game that I play. I have some girlfriends that know it, and it's called Remember When. And we'll just sit there and we'll just drink coffee or sometimes just some wine. And we just say, remember when? And we talk about things in the past as if they've already happened. So last summer, I was sitting at the park with a girlfriend. We're like, hey, remember when you were at my wedding? She's like, oh my gosh. And we will give details. Remember when I made that toast and then I fell on my dress, and we just start laughing. We will tell the most detailed stories. Oh my gosh. Remember when we went to Vegas and we had that phenomenal bachelorette party, and then we got free food and we didn't have to pay for anything that whole night. And then she'll come in and go, yeah, remember when we took that helicopter? We will go on and on. Remember when that guy, he came and he just spoiled the heck out of me. Another thing we do is we'll send texts to each other and we'll say, why are men so great to me? Why do men treat me like queens? Why do men buy me whatever? Like just on and on. And I'm like, oh yeah, why? Why is it? And then the universe will show you why men are so good to you. Or you could say, why are my clients just giving me so much money because of nothing? And then she'll text me, yeah, why are they? So we're already thinking and asking a question of true curiosity and as if it already happened. And so find somebody out there that you could play this game with, because not everybody will get it, right? And the ones that do get it, text message, have a little session, a little Zoom session, get together. I really, truly, it's so fun, and make a game like little kids play, Lesley, right?
All right. So finally, let's talk about the beit actions from this interview. What bold, executable, intrinsic, or targeted action items can we take away from your combo with her? And I thought I'd jump in first and just say one thing that I noticed wasn't anything you talked about. There wasn't like an actual talking point you had. If you go back and you listen to this interview, I am pretty sure she used your name, Lesley, 50 times.
I know.
She says it in almost every sentence.
She does.
Lesley, you know what, Lesley? You know, this, Lesley, right? And I picked up on it like maybe halfway through, 2/3 of the way through. And I was just like, now I was listening for it. And then I heard it the rest of the time through. And I thought, wow, she is just so amazing at connecting to people in how she engages with them. She focuses on them. She speaks their name. She knows them. Oh, yeah. This is obviously a sales tactic for those of you who have ever done any kind of sales.
But she was selling only like her thoughts to me. Like she wasn't selling anything. Okay, so that was episode 1. And the best way to find that is in your whatever podcast app you use. You have to go all the way back. Or if you're on the OPC app, you can actually probably just search for it, and that might make it really easy. I don't know. At any rate, it's episode 1. Now we're going to go to episode 43. So we're still early on in the podcast. And I really loved our guest, Jennifer Van Barneveld-Pay. She's, first of all, a beautiful human, kind of in a way where you're like, oh, you might be a little jealous of how beautiful this human is. But I really loved how vulnerable she is and how honest she is. And the whole episode, she actually talks about being a mom and making time for herself. But first, I want to talk about asking for help. And she has this really fun thing of how she handles when things don't go well. And it's about correcting and continuing. It really kind of helps you. Like, it's kind of the be it till you see it, isn't it?
Yeah, and asking for help, right? And then she also had some pretty powerful advice at the end about being more organized in your schedule. Mm-hmm. This helped me begin to live by my calendar.
Stop it.
What?
What?
Yeah, take it away. Enjoy.
So I have a really great support system. My husband is in the business with me, and he fully understands. And so like he knows that if I have to do something, he's got the kids. I've also had to learn that I'm always going to have that mom guilt. I feel like mom guilt is just a normal thing to have. You just have to accept it.
Yeah.
And, do your best, show up the best you can, but also be okay with asking for help when you need it. And so we have a nanny that comes in and helps us, and she's like family now. And when I first hired a nanny, when I had my first son, I had so much guilt about it. I was like, but I have to be there for him. I have to be there. And now I've let that go, because I now look at it as a blessing that he can have somebody else in his life to make an impact, to make him more of a well-rounded person, or them both a more well-rounded person. So having the grandparents there, and having, the caregiver there, and then also having our undivided attention at a certain time. My cutoff is always 5:00, and I'm with them 110%. I've just, when you become a mom, you just have to be more organized in your schedule. Recently, I've been getting up earlier and just getting my workout in a lot earlier. And I've said recently because it's been like 4 days, but it's a game changer. Like 6:00 workout, do some work before the kids get up. And I mean, it's been such a game changer. And I'm doing that for myself. I have that me time before the day starts, which is so key.
So that was episode 43. If you want to go listen to the full thing, and I hope you do. I hope this helps you go back to the fun catalog that we have. I do know, I can't shout out the names because I remember your faces, but not your names. To my peeps in Texas who've listened to the entire catalog 3 times through, you are brilliant. And then one of our girls in Alabama had only found us like 8 months ago and started with episode 1, and a couple months ago finished it. So she is on track. So you guys be inspired. You can go back to the beginning anytime you want and do a rewind of your own. Up next, we have episode 185. 2% is only 30 minutes of your day. So we just gave away what that is. 30 minutes of your day is 2%.
That's kind of insane.
Insane. So when you tell me you don't have time, you don't have 2% of your day for you, we got problems. But Di Manuel, and every time I see his name, I want to go, Di Manuel Miranda. And I know that's not his name, but like, anyways, he is epic. He's got a beautiful story about riding his bicycle, and then also like how he really helps people break up their day, because 2% of your day is 30 minutes. And he also gives out tips on how to break up that 30 minutes so you can make the most of it. So even it doesn't have to all be exercise or all be reading. He has a really wonderful way for you to take 2% of your day for you, make your life better. So here is Become a Champion of Change with Di Manuel, episode 185.
Here's the thing. We've all got 30 minutes a day.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I know there's people thinking, I don't have 30 minutes a day. I'm like, you know what? Give me your smartphone. We're going to go into the settings, and you're going to look at the thing called screen time. Okay. I know you got 30 minutes now. Like, don't tell me you don't. Now, here's the thing. That's only 2% of every 24 hours. So what I want you to do is make a commitment to yourself that you're going to commit 28 days straight. That's 4 weeks, where you're going to make non-negotiable every day 30 minutes for yourself. And in this 30 minutes, you're going to do something very specific. You're going to move your body with purpose for 15 minutes. Okay. You're just going to move it. I don't care how you move it. Just move it any way you want. As I always say, always. Okay. Like, move your body for 15 minutes, get your heart rate elevated, feel into your body so like you did something good. Then you're going to immediately follow that with 5 minutes of mindful meditation. All right. Now that's 20 minutes. Now for the last 10 minutes, you're going to feed that muscle between the ears. Okay. That brain of yours with something positive. Intentional, focused, personal development, not professional development, personal development. Okay. We all get lots of professional development, but I want you to work on yourself personally. So you can listen to a podcast like Leslie's, you can listen to a TED Talk. By the way, I did a TEDx talk a year ago on vulnerability in men. So,
that's so
there's
cool.
a little plug there. Self plug. Sorry.
I love it.
Also, whatever it is, but feed your mind something positive for 10 minutes. And you'll find that after exercising that mindfulness meditation, you're ready to receive and you become a sponge. But that's just 2% of your 24 hours. Okay. And in that, if you commit to that for 4 weeks, I've never had anybody come up to me and say, I didn't experience a big shift. I know you will. Body, mind, and spirit, you'll shift.
Okay. So, wow. Episode 185 with Di Manuel. 2% is only 30 minutes of your day. It's kind of mind blowing, and it makes me reevaluate the stories I'm telling myself. So, next up, we have episode 307 with Jen Drummond. Jen is like an incredibly inspirational human being / epic mom / what the hell?
All 7K2s. And she was not a rock climber or hiker, professional climber before the pandemic. So yeah.
So this one is Reaching New Heights and Transforming Life Post-Accident with Jen Drummond. And what was super fun was her telling her story about how she uses her time while she can actually be present and still maximize her time so that she could prep for those epic climbs.
She has 7 kids.
She's seven kids.
Yeah. So I had to ask, go, how the hell did you did you have 7 nannies? Like, what do you got?
It's amazing.
And her tip is epic.
Yeah. So here you go. Enjoy.
So when you have restrictions or limitations or whatever, that's not a no. That's a time to pull out the creativity bone and figure out what you're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And so some of the meetings that I was on, I didn't have to be visually present. So I could walk on a treadmill and do the Zoom call, right? And I had this little thing called this Firefly. I don't know if you met Fred the Firefly, but
yes,
Fred the Firefly is a very nice friend of mine. And he listens on all my Zoom meetings that we invite him to. And he takes all the notes for me. So then I can be walking. I'm like, oh, Fred caught that. I'll make sure I look at it a little more detailed later on. And so that was helpful. And then when my kids had soccer games, right? Soccer games are an hour and a half. They're forever, especially when your kid's not good. They're even longer, but they're an hour and a half. And so I would bring a 12-inch step to the game. I'd bring a backpack full of water bottles. And I was that mom, like standing on the sideline, doing my step ups while I was watching the game instead of the mom that was sitting there just watching. So I had to make it work.
That was episode 307. I hope you go back and listen to the whole thing. I learned so much. I went on a journey. She is just fabulous, and she has a great book, which we read as well. And I just really enjoy it. And that wraps up our favorite tips, which is, by the way, clearly not including all of our favorite tips of all the Be It Till You See It interviews we've done. But hopefully it's a rewind that helps you go back to 4 in the catalog and really take in like, what are your favorite tips of these guests? We want to know.
Yeah.
So share them with the Be It Pod. You can tag the Be It Pod on Instagram. You can share it in a review with 5 stars, please. And you can also share this with a friend who is looking like maybe they're just feeling a little stuck or lost. Like, one of these tips might be exactly what they need. Sometimes we don't know what to say to people, but we can send them an episode and it could be, they'll pick out the thing that they needed to hear that day, which could be really cool.
And also too, these rewind episodes are really fun to send out because it is a little bit of a taste of a bunch of different episodes for them. And they'll really get to know Lesley. I don't think I'm in these too much, but
you're not at all on any of them.
No, but I'm in the middle. I'm in the middle of all of these. So here I am. I'm here.
You're here. He's here. And also, like, you know, the Be It Till You See It podcast grows because of you. It grows because you share the episodes. Like, let's be honest, everyone's really busy and most people are not randomly finding a podcast on their own. So we just want to
not anymore.
Say
I don't remember the last time I opened the pod app to be like, what is out there?
No,
it's all referral based.
It's all referral based. So thank you so much. And we hope that this episode helps you share the Be It Till You See It podcast with a friend, because as long as we continue to grow, we can continue to get bigger and bigger guests. I have some dream guests.
Yeah.
I have some huge dream guests, and the more downloads we get, the easier it is for me to get those dream guests. And I might as well say it now. We're in the top 1.5% of all podcasts because of you guys. So
that means we've actually grown in our listenership.
Yeah.
Thanks to you.
Thanks to you.
So you're amazing.
So thank you for listening. Until next time, you know what to do.
Be it till you see it.
Yes. Woo. Brad finally got it.
I'm Brad Crowell.
I'm Lesley Logan. Have an amazing day.
Bye for now.
That's all I got for this episode of the Be It Till You See It podcast. One thing that would help both myself and future listeners is for you to rate the show and leave a review. And follow or subscribe for free wherever you listen to your podcast. Also, make sure to introduce yourself over at the Be It Pod on Instagram. I would love to know more about you. Share this episode with whoever you think needs to hear it. Help us and others be it till you see it. Have an awesome day. Be It Till You See It is a production of the Bloom Podcast Network. If you want to leave us a message or a question that we might read on another episode, you can text us at +1 310 905 5534 or send a DM on Instagram at BeItPod.
It's written, filmed, and recorded by your host, Lesley Logan, and me, Brad Crowell.
It is transcribed, produced, and edited by the epic team at Diseño.co.
Our theme music is by Ali at Apex Production Music, and our branding by designer and artist Gianfranco Cioffi.
Special thanks to Melissa Solomon for creating our visuals.
Also to Angelina Herrico for adding all of our content to our website. And finally, to Meredith Root for keeping us all on point and on time.